another top story now, the ACLU of Hawaii issued a statement following the latest officer-involved shooting when a man was shot and killed by police in Manana.
Now, it calls for more transparency from the department and for HPD to drastically change how it handles similar incidents. Casey Lund has more.
The ACLU Hawaii chapter says this latest officer-involved shooting highlights the need for more transparency and an immediate change to policies when it comes to training and use of force within the HPD. The data that they gathered and cited from Honolulu Civil Beat says this is the 5th fatal incident involving police officers across the state just this year alone. I'm going to take you back to that Friday morning. You might remember officers responded to a report of a burglary in progress in that Manana neighborhood on Kalauipa Street. Eventually, the Specialized Services Division was called in. There was a fire in the home, and at some point, shots were fired around 6:43. Later in the day, we learned that suspect was able to obtain an HPD rifle that was left unattended on the scene.
HPD, through its recklessness, created the dangerous situation that ultimately led to, the tragic killing of a person suspected of burglary. And here, the fact that the suspect was able to access this unattended police rifle speaks for itself, because only the recklessness of the police officers involved could have enabled this person to obtain the weapon that appears to have later justified shooting and killing him.
We also reached out to H&N law enforcement expert and former HPD Deputy Chief John McCarthy to talk a little bit about how unusual that circumstance was. I also wanted to know what he thinks about another criticism from the ACLU, that those Specialized Services Division officers should be equipped with body cameras. They're not, but many patrol officers are.
I think the public deserves that, and I think it should change. The problem is it a practicality? These guys do a lot of different maneuvers, a lot of different tactics that patrolmen do. So will that camera stay? Is it really a functional matter? During my career, I know of officers who have had their gun taken away from them physically, but never where the officer during a barricade incident like this left it unattended and it fell in the hands of the suspect. The officer's going to have to be held accountable for that. That's something that just shouldn't happen.
We also wanted to get perspective from the state's police union. Robert Cavaco is president. Here's what he had to say about HPD releasing body cam footage and the fact that other jurisdictions, like Hawaii County, for example, tend to release that footage much faster.
We do know that it does take resources with the detail that is responsible for releasing the body cam footage. So the footage has to be looked at on what portions that might need to be redacted for privacy concerns. And again, whatever is being released, we don't want it to taint the investigation before it's completed. So all of those circumstances need to be looked at.
This is still a developing story. We don't know the name of that suspect that was killed on Friday morning. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated, and you can read that full statement from the ACLU of Hawaii on our website at hawaiinewsnow.com. Reporting at HPD headquarters, I'm Casey Lund. For now, we'll send things back to you.